So King's Dominion is again confusing its fans. In a surprise announcement last week, we saw that they were shelving their B&M Wing Coaster, which a lot of people were actually happy about and hoping that we'd get a better replacement for Volcano down the line. But this week, we're actually figuring out now through KD fans and their sources that, according to documents that they saw, Kings Dominion is working with SNS Worldwide to design a 4D free spin from the former site of the park's now defunct top spin attraction, which was the Crypt, which is a strange a series of events. I just did not see this spanning out the way it has now laid out. Kings Dominion, I never really imagined. I mean, 4D free spins are normally they're all clones at the Six Flags parks, or the SNS ones are, and so this just was not a ride that I saw fitting into Kings Dominion's lineup. But I mean, it makes somewhat sense because I mean, what this ride does is very reminiscent of a top spin. And I'm sure it's less maintenance with, I mean, this is a newer ride. The Crypt was an older ride, and there was really, top spins are kind of going out of, they're not really being produced anymore, and SNS doesn't seem to be really marketing those as rides that they're really doing much with.
Tots is kind of like a thing of the past anymore,
Yeah, yeah, and
unfortunately, because
it is.
I mean, they made some really good rides, but
They did.
they just aren't reliable anymore. I think. I mean, the top spin was. I mean, just look at the thing. You look at it and you go, "How is that even possible?"
Yeah,
Like
what's going on
the
there?
amount of stress on that ride is just insane.
But the cool thing about
But
this as well is that these are the 40 free spins are clones, but King's Dominion most likely or possibly could be opting to build a different and bigger model than the ones that have been cloned so many times at the Six Flags parks. So we could be seeing a custom built SNS 40 free spin, which is awesome, which is something cool and somewhat unique. And again, this is not Volcano's replacement. I think that's what a lot of people when they first saw this
well, I
were
think
thinking.
that's the huge hope.
Yeah, that
I
is the
mean,
huge show. Well, this is not
not
going
going
in.
in that area.
Yeah, this is
I,
not.
I
This
that's
is
kind of
not.
an interesting thing
Yeah, it
because it really is going to boil down to where the like if this is going in Crypt's spot, everybody's going to look at it as a Crypt replacement. But like, how is King's Dominion thinking of
yeah,
it?
that is true. But I think in terms of it's not filling the void of Volcano. It's not filling the plot of Land. So in that hope, we're hoping that it is not going to be the replacement, and I don't think it will be. And I think Kings of Minions fans even said, I think they stated in this article that they wrote up that this is not Volcano's replacement. Yeah, this is not Volcano's replacement. It's a stage top measure to tie Virginians over until Cedar Fair can send Kings of Minions some actual money. So
But see, that's the thing, though. When is that going to happen?
yeah, exactly.
Like,
We have
you
no.
know,
That could be 5, 10 years. We don't know.
right? We're still in the same spiral, you know. And like this whole ride, I don't know how confusing is one of the like I don't know how to feel. When I first heard this, I was like, "Oh my god, really?" But then like it started the idea kind of started to grow on me. Again, if it's a stopgap measure, just to kind of hold things over. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, maybe this is why they suddenly removed Crypt because they said, "Hey, we have to do something." And like we don't want to use volcano space because I mean if you put something in volcano space, the majority of people are going to look at that as volcano's replacement. And
For
I
sure.
mean, if you put a 4D in volcano space, like it's not going to go over well
That's
at
kind of
all.
flipping the KD fans the bird, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
like,
if they did, I'm saying in terms of
yeah.
like it would be pretty big, like very very outraged. I'm sure
But I mean
from the
that
enthusiast
might make
community, but also from the general public. I mean, I cannot imagine the general. I don't know the general public. I don't know. They might be like, "Oh, this is awesome. It's an awesome concept or whatever." Because I mean, many of them have not seen a lot. This is not. These aren't in the area. We don't have any 40 free spins really in this area. And I mean, you have one like
see
6 hours away in New Jersey, but that's about. I mean, you have to go down to Atlanta or you have to go up to New Jersey to ride one of these. So it's not a very it's not a ride that the general public around here would see. So this could very well, in terms
right,
of general public,
but
this may appease the masses.
I still don't think that. I mean, see, that's the unique thing about volcanoes. This isn't an enthusiast related issue. This is a everybody issue. Um, Getting rid of volcano was probably the I think it may be the worst decision in park history that I know of. I mean, it was just bad because of the fact that it wasn't just the enthusiasts that were mad. It was everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody.
But I think with that being said, I think the general public may see this as a okay replacement. In terms of enthusiasts, obviously we know that these are not they're not like expensive and they're not really that innovative. But in terms of the general public around here, they may think that this is a awesome new attraction that
I'll
King's Dominion is bringing to their park, and they might feel that this is a solid
I'll be
replacement.
honest with you. I really think that even in the general public's eyes, I think that whatever they do to replace volcano is going to have a launch.
Yeah, that is.
I don't like from the general public's perspective, it doesn't even have to be a remotely powerful launch in comparison to volcano. But I just like that was the notable thing about volcano, and I think that's going to be a vital part of its replacement. I really feel that way. I think that I really think, and that's why I think like I don't think people would be mad about this being a replacement, but I don't think they'd be as excited as it like, like I think they'd kind of feel it being mediocre.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to say. Like I can't put myself in their shoes. I
The
don't
thing is,
really know.
with this, with that being said, if this was a larger, bigger model and it did some
That's
unique and
true.
cool things, I don't know how that would span out. I don't know what the layout would look like. I don't know. We don't know the
See,
details, but I
so
mean, I
this is
could
the
imagine it
thing.
being a pretty cool ride.
Some people have been speculating, well, if they're doing a custom layout, maybe they'll actually make it 4 dimensions, because the thing about the 4D free spins is they're not actually 4 dimensions because they don't go left and right.
Yeah,
Um, and some people were speculating, oh, maybe they'll actually do that. But if it's going to replace Crypt, I don't know that they really could do that. I mean, they're looking pretty much at a straight line.
yeah, they don't really have much space to work with in that
And that, I
area.
mean, that's why, like my Wicked Twister theory, like that would, and some other people have mentioned it too. Like it's just a straight coaster. Um, there's no left or right dimension on that, and I think that that's what they need in that area.
Yeah, I mean, it would make logically it makes sense. You're replacing an Intamin inverted coaster with an Intamin inverted coaster,
I
and
really
a launched
seriously,
inverted Intamin
the
coaster.
more that I thought about that, like I really feel that would have been that would be their best course of action.
Yeah.
I really feel like
Well, it
that
all
would be
depends on if if Cedar Point really is doing anything in that area. So they might not need to remove Wicked Twister.
right.
So if that
But it's
that's
just interesting because everything else in that area is being torn down
yeah, if that
and
was really the course of action that they were taking, Cedar Point
yeah.
to remove all those rides, that would make a lot of sense. But that very well could not be the case, and then they would still want Wicked Twister at their park. So that could very well be what's happening.
No, I'm still like I don't know that I'm 100% sold on this is what we're gonna see in place of Crypt, the 4D. I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm not discounting it. I mean, Zach at KD fans and BGW fans, like he does his research, and I put a lot of faith in him, and I do give this a high likelihood, but I'm not. I don't know that I'm 100% sold on this yet. Like, I think there may have been plans drawn up, but I don't know if they're
If they're 100%
at this
going with
point.
this could very well be like a B&M wing thing where it gets pulled.
Right. And I mean, for that matter, King's Dominion may be drawing up all kinds of different
Yeah, who
plans
knows
right
what they're
now,
doing?
trying
Yeah.
to figure out what's possible and what's the best, you know, what route that they want to take. I think the thing that's important is whether this is Wicked Twister, 4D, or something else, the important thing is that whatever this is happens very soon and that something else happens in volcano space not very
Hmm.
long after.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be critical for King's Dominion.
Well, assuming that current plans hold, the documents reveal that work will get underway this summer and should easily finish up by opening day of 2021. So, if we're looking at we'll start to see some construction this summer if we're looking at a SNS 40 free spin. If not, who knows? So it'll be up. We'll be up. We'll be up there. Me and you will be both up there checking it out.
Yeah. Um, we'll see. We'll have to check out Cedar Point too and see if like Wicked Twister closes early.
Yeah. Or if well, we're not going to open it. We're just going to keep it closed for a little
Right.
longer.
That would be a telltale sign. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I probably, now that KD fans is reporting this, I probably lean more towards the 4D free spin than I do the Wicked Twister.
Yeah.
But I still don't. I'm not 100% sure. I'm
Not
not gonna put all
100%.
my
No.
eggs in this basket
No,
because
because this could very well be just like the wing coaster. Like I said, it could be pulled. It could be
yeah,
shelved. It could be not 100%. It could be just they're filing. Yeah, like you said, drawing up and filing permits for different types of rides just to see what their options are and stuff like that.
and here's the other thing. You read the article more in depth than I did. Do Are they stressing the free spin part?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
they're very. It is very 40 free spin. Yeah, that is.
See, that's the thing. If they actually did a 4D that was controlled, I
Hmm.
think this would be huge. To make sure that you're like being thrown in the right directions to like really, really,
Yeah, because you can get some.
maximize the thrill.
Because yeah, because with 40 free spins, you can get some really good rides and get some really bad rides. I've gotten
Right.
ones where I basically didn't flip at all, and it was the most, it was a waste of time pretty much. But then I've gotten some where it's like you got like 80 flips, and you're like, holy crap, that was insane. So yeah, a controlled
How
free
does the
spin would
free
be
spin
great.
relate to a zipper? Have you rode
Um,
a zipper?
I have ridden a zipper at a fair, and I rode at the State Fair of Virginia actually. I am not a huge fan of going upside down many times. So zipper kind of disorients me. I like the 40 free spins though, and I'm not a huge fan of spinning coasters either. When we rode Twist and Shout at Festival Park Funland, I was or Funland of Fredericksburg now. I was not happy on that ride. But on these
I
rides, I
still
am fine with going
I
upside and
loved
flipping
watching
around.
you ride that with my niece.
Yeah,
Because
that
my
was.
niece was loving it, and you were like,
She's like, James, yay, and I'm like, no, 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 no. She's like, James, and I'm like, nope, don't even talk to me. I'm gonna die. Yeah, that was not fun. But with 40 free spins, I enjoy that. I don't know what it is. I
Well,
like
it's a different thing. I mean, spinning around
in
and
a
flipping
circle. Yeah, and
over
flipping over. But
is
zippers as
different.
well. Zippers, I'm not a huge fan of either. But 40 free spins, I enjoy it. Even if you go upside down so many times, it doesn't matter. I love it. It's a lot of fun. And also with it, there's a short, so it's not even if you start going upside down a lot, it's like, all right, we're almost done. With
Yeah, and
some rides, with a
zippers,
zipper,
you
you
don't
gotta go
tend
for
to
a while.
flip out of control. Like
Yeah,
I
you
did
don't.
on that ride at Knoebels, I can't think of the hamster wheel thing. I can't think of the name of
Oh
it.
God, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
God,
my niece and
oh
I rode
God.
that, and she's like, make us flip," and I'm like, I'm trying," and all of a sudden we flipped, and we wouldn't stop, and she's like, stop, Uncle Bob." I'm like, "I want to, I'm trying, I
I
can't."
did that at the Carolina Beach Pier boardwalk. They had a hamster wheel thing like that as well. Yeah, and I tried to get one flip, and it just kept
And
going
you
and
can't
going
stop.
and going, and then it kept getting faster. And I'm like, okay, ride up, and it was just me on the ride. So I'm like, ride up. I'm like, ride up, waving the ride up. I'm like, please, ride up, stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. And it was not good.
Oh,
But with the getting
this
back to the 40 free spins, I enjoyed them. I think they're good, and I think the only way that Kings Dominion, I think Kings Dominion could really either have a really good ride on their hands or they could have a really bad ride on their hands. I think it has to do with if they theme this attraction. I think they need to
I
theme
think
this
that's a big
very
part, but
well.
I think the custom layout. I think that's the most intriguing thing about this.
I don't. I think if they do it right and they theme it right and it fits and it depends on like the color scheme as well and what they're going with in the name and everything. But I think even if it's not a custom layout, if it's just a regular 40 free spin, the clone, I think it could fit really well. It just has to be again. The theming has to be optimized, and if they're gonna retheme this area. But you have to be universal in this area. You cannot just throw a random ride in there, call it some random weird name, and then start theming things in that area. Because that's the Congo. That's like one of the only themed areas in the park. We have Candy Apple Grove, which is kind of like a
Yeah.
la la kind of theme. It's not really a theme. It's just kind of like thrown back to Kings Dominion in the past. And then we have the NASCAR area was that's still part of the Congo kind of. We have Old Virginia. We have
No,
some.
I don't consider that.
They say that's part of the Congo, but it's not really.
Well, I
They
think
have Old
more
Virginia,
like
International Street. There's not really a solid themed area, and I think Congo really used to be that with Crypt and Volcano. It was really like the Congo. That was an Avalanche. You have kind of theming. You had solid theming there, and now that's kind of been all erased.
well,
So I
I
think,
kind of wonder if they're going to change that theme
yeah.
too.
So if you do change the Congo area to something else, at least start off with this ride being themed to that. So don't make this some weird random theme and then retheme Congo to like, I don't know, Antarctica or something, and then be like, oh yeah, this is the the flamethrower or whatever. Don't do something dumb like that. Please make this a good theme. Theme it well. Theme it like Cedar Fair's been theming rides. Cedar Fair's been doing a good job in recent years theming their attractions. Mystic Timbers, Twisted Timbers, Copperhead Strike, Steel Engine's pretty good theming. I mean, everything is pretty good theming for Cedar Fair standards. Make it like that. Do something like that. That is really going to benefit this park. That is something that we need. We need a good themed area of the park. So whether or not you're going to stick with Congo or not, I don't care. But try to make this a good themed ride and try to make this area very well themed and universally themed, not just like a couple of attractions themed to random things.
Yeah, I'm still really well. Again, this is from the perspective of somebody that hasn't rode a 40 yet, but I would like to see if they do a custom layout. I would like to see more like bigger drops.
Yeah,
You know,
that
it
is
doesn't
something.
seem like the
Yeah,
40s drop a lot.
they
Like,
don't.
I mean, well, the regular 40s do, but like the 40 free spins don't like.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of drops, and I would really like to see
And
more.
that's the thing. If this is a custom, are we going to see like a lift hill almost like with X2 or whatever? Are we going to? Is it going to be the vertical lift hill like we see with like the normal 40 free spins? Or are we going to see
But I kind of think it would
more?
have to be vertical
Yeah,
because of
I have a
this.
feeling. I have a feeling they would have to do that, but I don't
But I
know.
mean, if they make it taller, they could certainly do bigger drops.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they have like the overbanks like X2 does, or if this is actually going to be like more of a coaster layout, or this is going to be like the normal compact vertical layout that we see with the other 40 free
Well, I
spins. I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
gonna have like
I know
I
it's going
think
to
it's
have to be somewhat, but I think you could somehow like manage to throw in like a cool bank turn at the end or something like that, and it
I
not
guess
be a
maybe
part of that.
I don't know. Maybe there's room to go behind like Outer Hanks,
And I
like
think
behind.
even yeah, and I think even with like Cripps Q is very large. They have like a lot of space over there to even like add an overbank or something like that. It really just depends on what they're doing with this ride. If it's going to be the regular vertical kind, if it's going to actually have a coaster layout, kind of like the X2 or Enginica or Dino Conda or the other 40 coasters. But I don't know. I'm curious to see if this is going to be just a cloned. If they're going to just kind of add on to the clones that are pre-existing right now and just kind of add maybe a couple of elements, or if this is going to be a completely custom layout with
I'll
like
tell you,
starting from scratch. That would be really cool.
I will tell you this: if they built an actual 4D, King's Dominion would earn some of my respect back.
I would agree with that. Even if it's from SNS. I mean, I don't care if it has like a custom unique layout. I would be very. I would. Yeah, I would
Well, I mean,
respect.
4D is SNS.
Yeah, I know. But I was saying like like with the arrow kind of different. It was a different type
Yeah.
of 40.
Well, I mean, well, technically, well, no. Did SNS redo X2? Were they involved in the redo of that?
They were, yes, but they didn't. I mean, it was the same. It was still arrow track. They just kind of like reprofiled
Right.
it
Yeah. No.
somewhat.
But
But
the other
but
X.
these new SNS free spins use like different types of track and stuff. So
Right. They use RMC
yeah, they
track.
use RMC track. It's a lot wider track too. So and you know how like it's with X2 it's like
Well,
you're
and
placed on different
that's what I'm
sides.
saying. Like, it's not that free spin part is what kind of dulls it down.
Yeah, it
You
just
know,
but if they
this would
build
be
a
an exciting announcement if they took that free spin part away. If
yeah
this was just a regular 40, this would be a huge deal.
or I even if they built a custom 40 free spin in the sense of it does similar things to like the likes of X2 or whatever, I would be pretty appeased by that as well. I would be thrilled. I wouldn't be like, oh, amazing, but I would be like, that's pretty awesome, pretty cool. I don't really know
Yeah.
if SNS does the old 40s though, like X2 or Egenica. I don't know if they still
Well, they built there's three or four of them.
yeah, but that was those are all built like a while back. I don't know if they still do that now. Like those are built in like early 2000s, I believe. Egenica, Dino Conda in China.
Were they all?
Yeah, they were all pretty early in the 2000s, I believe. But coming to an end of that, King's
No,
Dominion,
it's still Fourth Dimension is still on their.
it still is.
Uh, yeah, it is still on their product list.
All right, well that is maybe I don't know, but it seems that again you were right in saying that KD fans really highlighted the free spin part of it. Everything
Yeah.
they've said is 40 free spin, 40 free spin, 40 free spin. There was never just 40 Um, but yeah, that's about it for King's Dominion as they look to get a 40 fee sprint in 2021.